So often in our media and our political leaders, they insinuate that Iran is crazy. Oh my God, if they got the nuke, they would immediately press the button and we'd all be dead. They're all crazy. In fact, Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu of Israel spoke at the UN just yesterday and said this.
Shockingly, some people have begun to peddle the absurd notion that a nuclear-armed Iran would actually stabilize the Middle East. Yeah, right. That's like saying a nuclear-armed al-Qaeda would usher in an era of universal peace.
Now, I don't think anybody's saying a nuclear-armed Iran would stabilize the Middle East, but he just compared them to al-Qaeda as if they don't care at all whether they live or they die. It's a country of over 70 million people. Of course they care about their own citizens. But people like John Bolton on Fox News Channel try to get you to believe that they're even crazier and more dangerous than the Soviet Union. They don't care about anything, man.
Right. If you prize life in the hereafter more than you prize life on Earth, the threat of being destroyed isn't going to deter you. The one thing you can say about the communists during Cold War days is they were atheists. They knew they were only going around once in life, and they weren't about to throw it away too quickly. That's not a calculus that applies to Iran.
Now, that's the only time you'll see Fox News praising atheists. Just to say, well, they're not as crazy as the Iranians. Woo! Well, is that really true? Well, do you know that a lot of American basketball players go to play in Iran, including a guy named Kevin Shepard? And you know what they did? They followed him around. They made a movie called Iran Job. It's really interesting. Here, let me show you a piece.
I don't believe in Islam because one man is equal to two women.
Well, we now have the director of that movie, The Iran Job, Schauder, in studio with us. Till, how you doing?
All right.
All right, so Kevin goes over there, and did anybody try to blow him up? What happened?
Not really. He actually had a very good experience going over there. I think it was surprising to him to see how hospitable Iranians are. And it was good for him to do that because I think the reason why he did it is he was tired of all the prejudices that he heard from his friends and family at home who would ask him, what's it like over there? Is everybody taking an AK-47 to practice, or do you have to go take a camel to the gym or something like that? And I think he grew tired of that, and so he wanted to sort of, not only see it for himself, but also show it, most of all, to his own community. And
so, of course, all rational human beings understand, if they are not on Fox News Channel, that are Iranians human beings just like us? Of course they are, right? Now, but having said that, I saw portions of the movie where, they're dancing to rap music along with Kevin, etc. And it's kind of interesting how Western they are.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, one of the things that struck both Kevin and myself when we went there is how in tune they are with Western culture. For example, oftentimes when I was in a car with a basketball player, which was often the case, of course, I heard the music they were listening to, which was mostly rap and hip-hop. And so that was surprising to me because, I know that it's technically illegal to even produce that type of music there, but also because it was so good. It was really, groovy and good music. So, and Kevin was surprised also to learn, when you ask, let's say 10 Iranians, what's your opinion of Americans as people? You'll get an approval rating of probably 60, 70%. In fact, there's a poll like that gave those numbers. And you would not get that type of approval in countries that are supposedly allies, like Germany, where I grew up. You ask for the approval rating, you'll be lucky if you get somewhere in the 40s.
Yeah, it's true. And they might not be happy with our government, but they like the idea of freedom and our culture, etc. In the movie, delivery boy comes in and they start going, my boy, he does it with Kevin. It's hilarious. And so at the same time, they had a bit of a culture shock, too, when Kevin goes to buy a Christmas tree. I wanted to show that portion here.
I need a Christmas tree. Christmas tree.
دیگه یه چیزی براشون برای کریسمس.
کشمش؟
Till, one more funny question about that, or interesting one actually, really, because as you see all this, and it's to be expected, of course they don't have a lot of Christmas trees in Iran, etc. But in one moment, he's talking to a bunch of women inside his apartment. The delivery guy comes, as I said, and they have to go inside the room. So how much oppression is there from the government on top of the Iranian people?
Well, there are two things at work here. One is the fact that it is technically illegal for a woman to be in a man's apartment unless she's related to him or it's her husband, right? But there's also a cultural component to it. So, for example, the three women in the film, they were comfortable with me around and with Kevin and his Serbian roommate around because we didn't judge them. Mm-hmm. Whereas if a neighbor comes around and sees them hanging out with this American and European player, just culturally, people start gossiping. So it's actually a lot of that type of thing at work also.
All right. The movie's called The Iran Job. Till, thanks so much for coming in. We really appreciate it.
Thanks very much for having me.
Hi, this is Cenk Uygur. To see more of the Young Turks, go to current.com/getcurrent to make sure you get Current TV.